welcome to our webinar today. We're going to speak specifically to helping kind of grow and even increase your summer sales on Amazon. I know that this time of the year can kind of have a slight dip depending on your brand and your products. So I'm really excited to share today. Just to start off, it's kind of crazy to think about how it is already June, and how, this earlier this week, it was Memorial Day. So time just keeps flying. I know I always say that, but I always feel that same way. But I love this time of year, and we're actually getting beautiful weather in Georgia, so that's great. But let me jump in to what I want to share. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to talk about increasing your Amazon sales for the summer. And specifically, I want to address in 2023. Okay, so how to increase your sales during summer 2023. So this is a little bit more data that I think will give you more context. According to the US Bureau of Economic Analysis, consumer spending increased. This is what really surprised me. Increased by over 132 billion in the first quarter of 2023 from the fourth quarter of 2022. Now, if you know anything about fourth quarter with Amazon specifically, this is actually just overall spending, though. This is not just Amazon specific. I'm trying to give a bigger picture, but Amazon is sales during Q4 are just usually typically the best, like unless your product, like I said, is very seasonal and it doesn't make as much sense for, around the holidays. But typically that's a huge time for sales. So the fact that consumer behavior spending right now, it has been on the increase from fourth quarter of 2022 is a really positive indicator that there is a lot of opportunity for your brand and your products to, even though there's a lull and a slowing of sales in the summer, typically, for you to take it, really leverage this and make sure that you're using all the opportunities available to you on Amazon. But one of the things that we'll touch on too, though, is you do have to plan ahead, right? You can't just expect that if you keep everything the status quo and as it was, that it's going to actually improve and grow your sales. You really need to think strategically on what you're going to put in place. And even now, for instance, the next few weeks, you're going to have to think through things of one thing in particular is you need to make sure that you have enough inventory at Amazon's warehouses. If you're using Fulfilled by Amazon, which I hope you are, if you can, then you should be sending an inventory very soon, in the next week or two at the latest, so that it's there and available for those Prime days when just more traffic is on Amazon. So there is a lot of planning from like logistics standpoint, but there's also planning of like strategy, and we'll dig into that more. But one of the things that I always recommend doing is making sure you're setting targets, because if you don't really have a specific target that you're trying to hit, you're not really going to either hit it, exceed it, or even fail. And it's sometimes okay to fail and not hit your goal if, because you've set that goal, you've realized, what is it? Was this too aggressive of a goal? Why didn't we hit this goal? It'll allow you to ask a lot of good questions to then change for your next planning. And typically, I recommend planning on a quarterly basis and also looking in a deeper dive month by month as well. So when you're looking through your month by month strategies, look to see, okay, here's my target. Here's going to be my target for June sales on Amazon, July and August sales on Amazon. Set those targets. That way you're aiming towards something, and then you can be planning according to those targets. And something that will really help you, and this is something that year round would help, but especially in the slower months of summer, is to really work on increasing your brand awareness, not just on Amazon. And I've talked more and more about this over the last year, but off of Amazon as well, making sure that you're using an approach where you're eventually giving people that omni-channel type approach where they're hearing about you on different places, like your different social media platforms. You're doing things for your email list, you're doing things on Amazon as well with advertising. All these things will work together, and they will help you with your Amazon presence, because when you're doing a lot off of Amazon, you're going to have a lot more searches happening and a lot more just awareness of people even looking for your products and then hopefully going and then buying your products as well. And also something that'll help in summer to really increase your sales is going to be working on creating new followers on your Amazon storefront. And this is something that, really we hadn't focused as heavily on, but Amazon does. It's more of a beta program, so they're still kind of working everything out, and it's not like the final release yet. But if it's available for you, when you have followers for your brand, and let's say you're releasing a new product, Amazon actually now has a way where you can inform those followers of any new products that you add to your product line. So you want to make sure that you're creating new followers for your Amazon storefront. So whenever they go to your stores, there's that button for them to follow. Make sure to inform people that they should do this, that they could do this. See this as an extension of your social platforms. So a lot of times different companies will have some kind of maybe giveaway, for instance, that you're doing on one of your social platforms. And in order to be entered, and you'll get more, if you submit different things, you'll get more entries. So they'll increase their chances of winning. So as an example, let's say you're already asking them to follow you on Facebook, to tag 3 friends on Instagram on this post for, 5 entries or something like that. You should add in follow us on our Amazon storefront as well. That'll just give you the ability to be able to reach those either possible customers that maybe have never purchased but have been kind of paying attention to your brand, and even those that do purchase, you'll stay at the top of their mind. You want to get in as many places as you can, their emails, on their social channels, but also on Amazon. Like I said, because Amazon now does allow certain messaging to be sent specifically to followers. And then as you send those type of messages, Amazon, as of right now, they actually open up even more opportunities to email more of people that have even purchased from you in the last year on Amazon. That in the past, Amazon was very strict about emails and the messages that were sent to customers on Amazon because they just didn't want to feel like people were getting spammed. So that's a huge opportunity. I hope that makes sense. Definitely check inside your like brand stores. I can't remember which specifically it's under, but it's going to be in your Seller Central, and check to see about that, if that's eligible on your account. And if so, seeing how you might be able to inform people about new products. And then something else to increase your sales during summer is you really want to be working on generating more new to brand sales. And part of the strategy for this is, as of right now, Amazon is showing you this data when you create sponsored brand ads on Amazon. So if you already have sponsored product ads, that's a great foundational starting point for your ads. But make sure you're also using and leveraging sponsored brand ads, which include, the headline type ads. They used to be called headline ads. Also includes video ads. Those type of ads are going to be what are going to show you how many people have never purchased from your brand on Amazon before. And that's really helpful data, because you want to, even if you're not a consumable product, you want more people to know about your brand, to know about your products. And eventually, if it is a product that they can reorder, you want them to place those orders again and again. So that's really going to help you. And kind of connected a little bit to that is you want to be paying attention to your subscribe and save subscribers when you have eligible products. So for instance, if you have a consumable, this will really help steady out those slower months too. And two, the strategy behind this is when you're working on increasing those that are doing subscribe and save for your products on Amazon, you're going to help with the slower months, but you're also going to help not have to compete as heavily during Q4 when everything becomes more expensive, like advertising on Amazon becomes more expensive, because you have them already on that subscribe and save. So if you're not already really leveraging that, make sure you're looking into it. And I'm going to dig into this more, but seeing like, are you increasing every month? Are you dropping off? And you want to look into the data of what's happening with those subscribers on particular products to make sure that there's none that are like dropping heavily. And then you might want to dig into why that might be. But you want to see those numbers overall go up. And then the neat thing too is you can see your projected sales based on those subscribers. So that kind of gives you a good base of baseline sales. And then in addition to that, you want to start stacking and adding those new to brand customers and bringing new people into your ecosystem that have never purchased from your brand on Amazon before. So I think that this is something that is really just overlooked. There's a lot of different strategies with it. You need to find out what works well for your brand, and there's different amounts that you can offer. And I will say that you may, if you're only offering 0% for subscribe and save, that is not going to be typically as enticing. And if you really want to see your numbers jump up, I would definitely recommend at least adding a 5% discount, because it is going to typically take a little bit longer for the customer to receive the product because they're enrolling in subscribe and save, and it'll depend on their, subscribe and save date. So whatever day they've chosen in a month, they can add that on. So it might not be that fast 1 to 2 day shipping. So to kind of get them over that hurdle, I would definitely look at adding an incentive. If you're not seeing movement on like a 5%, you might want to look at increasing that as well, or just testing it out for certain products. And then another point to make for increasing your sales during summer on Amazon is look at your business reports from the previous years. Look at 2022 and even 2021 and 2020 as well, if you want. Look to see historically, when have you had kind of a lull or slower sales? Have there been kind of, especially certain weeks maybe, that you're seeing a dip in those overall sales? And this is where you can actually start leveraging promotions on Amazon. So you could either maybe create a coupon, you could create a promotion where they buy one product and then they buy another one of your products, but they get a little bit of a discount. Offering some kind of incentive and promotion for those kind of slower weeks that you're kind of historically have seen can really help overall just increase your velocity, which will then should give you an overall increase in sales, even though you're offering a little bit of a discount. So I definitely think that that's a way that you should be leveraging kind of more of those lulls that you're seeing. And especially if you have maybe inventory that you have a lot of that's a little bit slower, that could be another opportunity where you can make sure you're adding promotions to that as well.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to check out our website at clickfluency.com for more information, and follow us on all of our social media channels so that you can make sure you're getting the latest news in e-commerce.